thank you and welcome back to part 2 of part 1. Is that the thing? Anyway, basically, if you're watching this video, it's because I had a problem editing it and the video was longer than 20 minutes and I got broken into 2 pieces. So I'm going to carry on making this knife and I'll see you in a bit. Yeah, bye.
This episode is nearly as messed up as my Damascus.
Oh dear, come on. I'll give up. So what we've got here now is we've got just a plain drawn out bar, twisted bar, plain drawn out bar, and in between I'm going to sandwich 2 more pieces of the 15N20, which is nickel rich, for 2 reasons. That'll make the pattern a bit more exciting, I hope. Actually 3 reasons. It'll make the pattern a bit more exciting, it'll bulk up the stock size, which I'm a bit concerned I'm not going to have enough to get 2 knives out of, and then it'll also assist in the welding process. The nickel will weld together a lot easier than the high carbon material. In fact, you just have to get it hot and it pretty much sticks together. And this is why it's so easy to use good stock to start with, because you're basically, the nickel's excellent for welding. So anyway, I'm going to take this together. I'm just going to weld the one end up again, and then I think I'm going to have to do a little bit of grinding just to bring this down so it's all sort of flush. So I'm not going to get any weird foldovers like I got in my first one that I made. But that's everything. So I'm going to get on with that now, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so this is the billet. It's all welded together at the ends and I've ground it so it's all nice and flush. I didn't lose that much material. I thought I was going to lose a bit more material than I did, but I didn't. So basically this is going to go in the fire. I'm going to bring it up to a good temperature just to set the welds, take all the gaps out, and then take it up to a fire welding temperature, glue it together, and then I'll do a couple of drawing out sessions with this, and then I'm going to stick it under the power hammer. I know I said this is all by hand, but I just don't have the time to spend drawing this stuff out. I've got a power hammer sitting there. It's all the same technique. Okay, so pretty much just got that bar drawn down to 25 by about 6 or 5-ish. And now what I'm going to start doing is putting the point onto the end of the knife. And I want to be keeping this as hot as I can. Okay, so this, oh wow, this angle's hot. So this is where we are. Basically, I've just used an angle grinder just to get this into shape. I need to put the bevels in a bit better. They were forged in quite nicely, which helps a lot. But I've gone over it with a fine Scotch Brite all the way down. So I did a 60 grit, an 80 grit, a 120 grit, and then the coarse, and then the fine Scotch Brites. And I have two little problems with this blade. The first one is that when I do the normalising cycles, I'm just going to have to take this little bit of a bend out, and also I've got one little tiny speck of crap on this side and a slightly bigger speck this side, but we'll see what they look like when we etch them. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to mix up some ferric chloride and I'm going to etch this blade. So I've just mixed up a little bit of this ferric chloride here. I'm going to take this knife and I'm just going to give it a bit of a stir. Right, I'll have to do a double dip, aren't I? Right, I'm just going to leave that in there for a minute and then we'll have a look. So this knife is going to one of my top level Patreons. It's going to either Thomas Wallian or Thomas Rasmussen. One of you guys is going to get this knife, and then I'm going to make the other piece into another knife. I'm also going to make the scales and everything for it, so it's going to be handsome and maybe make some sort of a sheath, I think. And they get this because after 6 months of pledging, they get something worth £200, and this definitely is worth £200 because it's taken all day, and then there's still more to do. So basically, I think I've got Ben Toons and a Mark Riggs to give a shout out to. Thank you guys also for pledging, and Mark, you will also be getting something worth £200 in 6 months' time when you've been a. I'm not going to put that in there. That's not very nice, is it? Once you have also pledged for more than 6 months. I suggest you guys go over and check out my Patreon, and the reason I'm suggesting that is because it's a great way to help support the channel and me in the workshop. It helps me make videos like this because it pays for the steel, it pays for the coke. It really helps support doing the videos, as well as having to do all the extra stuff as well here, which is hard enough to do without doing a YouTube channel.
Especially if I'm using the fire.
Yeah, especially if he's using the fire. I think we've burnt more coal today than we do normally because it's on full tilt all the time, plus all the extra electricity you use. Anyway, yeah, it's been a good day today. We've got this done. Please go and check out the Patreon. You don't have to do anything, just go over and have a look. They might find some interesting stuff over there. I'm just going to put a list of all my Patreons up now. Thank you guys for pledging, and thank you to everyone who supports the channel. Your likes, your comments, your dislikes as well actually help, believe it or not, and just general support and community fun and love. So thank you once again. Thank you for coming down, Alex. Have you had a good day?
Yes, absolutely.
Did you learn something?
Yes.
Don't burn your work is what we learned, and you like the power hammer, didn't you? Alex said to me this morning, he says, can we use the power hammer? And I was like, yeah, okay, we'll have a go. And he says, is that as hard as it hits? And as soon as he said, is that as hard as he hits? And then I showed him, you made some candle holders, didn't you?
Yeah.
And as soon as I showed him how hard it hits, that's it, all day you've been full tilt, haven't you, mate?
Doesn't hit hard enough.
To be honest, it doesn't hit hard enough. You just kept messing your work up. Anyway, enough of that silliness. Thank you for joining me. If you enjoyed this video, remember to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you are a subscriber, please ring that bell for notifications because it will tell you every time I make a video. This isn't going to be common. This will be the last, part 2 of this will be the last one, basically. There won't be any more Damascus stuff for a while. There might be some more fire welding stuff. I want to make some axes with some fire welded blades in. Leave your comments down below. I've got some t-shirt news to come, but I'll do another video about that later. That's everything, I think.
Yep.
Do you need to say anything?
Thank you very much for having me.
No, you didn't need to say that, but thank you for saying it. I will stick a video on Alex's head of some more Damascus stuff, and where Alex's torso is residing. I will put another video of something. This is the Patreon. Go check that out, please. And then that's the subscribe button. Thank you for joining us, guys. Bye bye.
Hopefully I didn't look so scared this episode.